Sing to me of a time long past, a time when men answered to power alone. These are the words that open up the incredible, epic tale that is Tactics Ogre, and more specifically, Tactics Ogre Reborn, the latest remake and update of one of the most incredible and ambitious strategy RPGs ever made, releasing next month on November 11th. Thanks to the wonderful folks at Square Enix, I got a chance to get hands-on with the latest version of this genre-defining tale. And today, I'm going to be giving you a preview of the first epic chapter in one of the greatest adventures ever created. The game takes place in the long war-torn lands of the Valerian Isles, once united under their dynast king, Dorgalua Oberith, now separated into factions based on the three most major bloodline groups of the realm: the Bakram, the Galgastani, and the Wallister. The Bakram established themselves as the most powerful of the groups quickly, backed by the northern Holy Lodician Empire. The Galgastani set up a foothold to the west, and ultimately managed to quell the rise of the Wallister people to the southeast. As our story begins, you take control of a young Wallister man, Denim Pavel, who, together with his sister Kashua and his best friend Vice, plan on ambushing the Dark Knight of Lotus, who torched and ransacked their town and kidnapped their father years ago, Lancelot Tartaros, having heard he and his knights were passing by. After a short encounter, it turns out the knight passing through is named Lancelot, but is a different person, Lance Hamilton. This proves to ultimately be a good thing, however, as Denim and company team up with this group of knights to rescue Duke Ronway, the leader of the Wallister resistance, from the nearby castle of Almorica where he is held. And this is all just how the story begins. Once you begin the assault on Almorica Castle, the gameplay comes front and center. Though this is a strategy RPG as you know it, and the original release of this game was one of its first in the genre, Tactics Ogre Reborn goes a long way to re-establishing itself as one of the premier games of the genre. You place your characters of various character classes, including warrior, knight, berserker, archer, wizard, and more. Every character has a set movement score, as well as jumping limits, both for going up and down, and you can attack or use special actions at various ranges to lower enemy HP, and the goal being to defeat either specific enemies on the map, or every enemy visible in order to proceed. The simplicity, though, still provides plenty of depth. Characters can set skills for themselves, with the skill system being based on three types of skills, those being support, auto, or action. Support skills give passive bonuses, such as the two-handed sword or bow skills, boosting damage and accuracy, or resist charm to resist charm-type status moves, and things like that. Auto skills have a chance to go off automatically at the beginning of your turn, with effects such as Meditate, which may have you start your turn by recovering some MP, or Concentration, which may have you start your turn by giving yourself the Spell Strike status to increase your accuracy with magic. Action skills are, as you might guess, actively used, with moves like Tremendous Shot or Mighty Impact, either of which make the user's attacks guarantee 100% accuracy and guarantee a critical hit. With only 4 skill slots to work with, this requires a lot of thought and planning on how you want to focus and specialize your characters, and means even similarly classed characters end up feeling like they provide different things to the party. While in combat, you can zoom in or out, as well as swing the camera to a top-down view to make grid view easier if you have trouble parsing the isometric view, or need to just count out ranges or things like that. Additionally, while in combat, buff cards will randomly appear. These will provide boosts to a character for the remainder of combat if picked up, including things such as boosted critical hit rate, boosted attack and magic, or even raised chance for automatic skills to trigger. Adding all this together gives you a ton of options in an incredibly well-made and balanced game. It goes beyond just the combat itself, however. Even with things like equipment, gear will often have different stat boosts and reductions, and different skills can prep for different scenarios, meaning to truly be successful, you'll need to be ready to change your setup as the situation allows. As you continue battling through the story, Denim and company end up going through a great many situations. You become the heroes of Golia, named for the town you hailed from. And in saving Duke Ronway, you get your own company of fighters, which you name and lead in future battles. Denim's company must uncover the plot of a necromancer, save Leonard, the highest-ranking officer of the Wallister Resistance Army, have a chance to save a Bakram girl named Sistina, go on a mission to meet with Lancelot Tartaros himself to try and broker truce with the Knights of Lotus, and more, all the while with questions being asked that you, as Denim, may make a choice in answering. Some questions can affect the loyalty of various members of your army, some can determine whether or not you can recruit certain special characters, and one question towards the end of Chapter 1 is one of the single biggest questions not just in this game, but in gaming in general. The answer to a single question will determine the path you and the game take moving forward, and will fundamentally change everything you know. It's so big, I can't even begin to talk about it other than to just say it's huge. And again, this is all just the first chapter, with tons more awaiting you. All of this story, by the way, is presented with beautifully updated art of the various characters in the story, and with phenomenal voice acting performances by industry veterans like Max Mittelman, Victoria Atkin, and Keith Silverstein. Every cutscene flows effortlessly from one to the next and truly draws you into every moment of this wonderful tale. On top of all this, they've added such features as a training situation, which allows your characters in between battles, rather than having to hunt down random battles, to specifically go to a location and choose to train, allowing you to catch everyone up in your party. And since they've switched from the old class leveling system to a character leveling system, it only takes 1 or 2 fights to get anyone you recruit immediately up to snuff with the rest of your party and immediately able to contribute, allowing you the freedom to be able to use the things you want to use when you want to use them. It is an excellent change and an excellent system, and I could not be more happy to see how it has played out. Tactics Ogre Reborn drops November 11th, 2022 on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC, and it truly will be one of the greatest additions to anyone's game library. Whether you're a longtime fan of the series, an enthusiast for the genre, or even someone looking to dip their toes in for the first time. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Josh. You can call me Anoriand. This was an early preview of Chapter 1 of Tactics Ogre Reborn, and I just want to thank the wonderful folks at Square Enix for the chance to dive into this experience early, and I can promise I will definitely have more for you in the future. Until then, ready yourself for the battles to come, my friends, and stay safe.